Hello and welcome to Bakerstreet.coasters, where today I'm going to do something different from normal theme park content. This is because I have my A-levels coming up very, very soon and I need to revise. Now please bear with me for like a few seconds whilst I tell my socials that I am live. Also, what is going on with this? There you go. That is not the video I wanted to play, thank you. Also guys, how are we all doing? Please remember to subscribe, I would really, really appreciate it. And like I said, I am... There you go, okay. I can hear myself. Right there. Guys, join me as I'm doing English language A-level AQA coursework. As I'm doing English language A-level AQA coursework. Yeah, there you go, guys. Okay, so firstly I need to get up a past. Oh no, what's happened? I might have to edit this video or something. Or I can just put it on now, I don't really care. So let's do AQA, English language, past paper, 1 A-level. So this is only for A-level, and if you are AQA, then hello. Yeah. And if you're not, then unfortunately you're on the wrong exam board. So, still doing something. There we go. Okay. Nobody in my chat yet, but it's fine. Anyways, so here we go. June 2023. So let's do the June 2023. I'm not quite sure if there is the last year's paper. Can't see that on here. I know some teachers have got the last year's paper, so you know, let's see for it anyways. Download insert or download past paper. Let's download past paper. And then let's download the insert as we can fully analyse that. Oh great, okay, I had this one for my mock. Let me see if I can edit with Acrobat. Can I edit with something else? Okay, so let me go PDF. There we go. Also, welcome to my live, if you are here. Default programming, no. I want to open recent documents, not that one. Add place, computer, please. It's got to be my downloads for sure. There we go, this one. Okay, so here is the insert which we were given. Can I zoom out a little bit? Not that much. Okay, so as it says, so this is from the BBC News, and it's a online newspaper article. And it says, Ethiopia all-women flight marks 8th of March. So this was published on the 7th of March 2019. Ethiopian Airlines is making International Women's Day by operating an all-women flight from Addis Ababa to Oslo. The airline announced this in a tweet with a reference to the Beatles song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. The Lucys are about to control the skies for the 5th time, flying to Oslo on the coming March the 8th. The flight will be operated by female professionals in the sky as well as on the ground, the airline posted on Facebook. This means airport operations, flight dispatch, load control, ramp operations, onboard logistics, safety and security, catering as well as air traffic control are to be carried out entirely by women. Ethiopian Airlines Chief Executive Officer Tiwold Gabrielium explained that the initiative celebrates women on a continent where gender inequality still persists. We are immensely honoured that we have women trailblazers in every aspect of our aviation field, he said. Women are an integral part of our success story from the start, and with this dedicated flight, we honour and celebrate their indispensable contribution to our aviation group and the broader aviation industry, our country and the continent at large. We then have like links here. You may also be interested in Chechnya gets women-only taxis. Mexico, women in first local vote. Turkmen, police stops women drivers. Okay, then it continues. And it says, oh guys, go for it. Right. This isn't a first for Africa's largest airline. It's previously operated all-women crew flights to Bangkok, Kigali, Lagos, and Buenos Aires. Very sorry if I pronounced any of those wrong. To mark International Women's Day last year, Air India said it had become the first airline to fly around the world with an all-female crew. The entire flight was operated by the women of 8 different departments. And in another UK series of all-female flights to mark the day last year, British Airways ran the UK's largest all-women flight from London Heathrow to Glasgow, which involved over 60 women. Female voice from the cockpit. Ethiopian Airlines is keen to showcase the women's longer-term contribution to the industry and the progress they've made in conquering male-dominated professions, like those of pilot and aircraft technician. Dr. Saba Fikru, the head of the airline's medical and health services, say that 35% of the company's 16,000-strong workforce is female. These days, an increasing number of women are completing their pilot training successfully. Now we can hear a female voice coming from the flight deck or cockpit, she says. Then we have text B. Now, firstly, we're going to focus mainly on text A though first. So, firstly, what we have to do is we have to note down our MFAPs. Now, MFAPs is mode, form, audience, purpose, and subject. It is absolutely boiling here. Like today, it is boiling. I'm not joking. Anyways, so the MFAP. So you've got the mode, you've got the form, you've got the audience, and purpose and subject. Okay, so the mode is how the text is written. For example, it could be either one of 3 things. So it could be spoken. Now, spoken is more of your speeches, more transcripts. I'm actually not quite sure what else is spoken. Then you've got your written mode, where basically you've got your online newspaper articles, you've got online articles, you've got magazines, leaflets, all those things which are written down and are not spoken from the human mouth. So, as it says here, we already have it's really important to read the sort of the title, this thing here. So text A is an online article. So basically our mode here is written, because an online article is written. I mean, there is something called blended, where basically it's written and spoken, but we kind of don't touch upon that in a way. Now, this is written because it is wrote down on paper and nobody has specifically said it. It is therefore, written. Then we have the form. Now, the form is what is this text? But where is this text published? So as it says here, it says text A is an online article from the BBC News. So that is already our form. Our form is the online article. Is online article. If it said magazine, it would be a magazine. If it said a transcript, it would be a transcript. If it said it was a script, it would be a script. always make sure you add in the MFAPs to your first paragraph. Then you have the audience. Now, the BBC News is a global, well, sort of like a global, but it's a global news group. We basically report about many different many different events going on in the UK or around the world. Now, the target audience here could perhaps be seen as female readers, because the article is about empowering readers empowering female readers in a way, because you've got stuff like women's flight, the Lucy's are about to control the skies. We are immensely honoured that we have a women trailblazers. It shows possibility in this overall text, which kind of shows the target audience here could be young women, or at least women who perhaps want to have a chance in flying. So we can go women of all ages who want to have a chance in flying. But it may also be seen to the younger generation, as we know, and being more stereotypical here, the most stereotypical sort of conservative people are the older people, and that's not very good. And they wouldn't really be in support of having women sort of flying planes. It's more of a masculine thing which is seen in society. So having that sort of younger generation and them aiming it at them sort of opens up the horizons into, taking away this social norm. So we could put young readers over older ones with more liberal beliefs. Then for the purpose. Now, the purpose of this text is to do many things. It's either to influence, to persuade, to inform. Now, the purpose here is to inform. So it's to inform the current flight situation, or the current airline airline staff and equality as well. So inform the current equality within the airline. But it also shows a power of persuasion and power. So power and persuasion also shows a sense of power and persuasion. I can't spell, and I take English language. Oh no, joking. Persuasion. Can I really not spell? Oh, it hasn't got two S's. So the power of persuasion towards women. And then the subject, now the overall subject is about all women's flight. It says there in the title. So Ethiopia, all women's flight. Okay, so now that we have analysed the MFAPs, we then go into the we now go into what sort of language features we can see. Now, there are 6-7 sort of language levels. So one of them is Lexis. Now, Lexis is another term for words. This means that it could be stuff like adjectives, verbs. So adjectives such as yellow, slowly, quickly. I mean, is there a verb? Quickly. Biggest, that's... Then you have a noun, so you've got different sorts of nouns. You've got concrete nouns, which are your things like keyboard, mouse, things you can physically see. Can physically see. Then you have your abstract nouns, which are nouns which you can't see. So for the nouns which you cannot physically see. So for example, feelings, and yeah, feelings, I don't know what else you can do. Like love and dreams, and they're more emotional based, abstract nouns are. And then you've got your pronouns, so they replace a proper noun through words such as she, he, they, them. And then you've got your proper nouns, which is places, well, place names, I can't spell, place names, just names themselves, and yeah, that's location, place, and names, basically, and just the location, but yeah. Okay, so now that we've sorted out, wow, actually, we've got verbs, so there are different types of verbs, and I think there are like 8 verbs, which I cannot think of on the top of my head, unfortunately. I know we've got an action verb, you've got a modal verb. Now, modal verbs are stuff like frequently, I have to search this one. Better to be safe than sorry, if you ask me. There's a lot to remember. No, I'm nowhere near. Modal verbs are like could, should, ought, and would. So would, ought, they show a sense of certainty. So basically, ought, so I ought to go, not ought, but I say should, you go would, could, anything like that. You've got your action verbs such as run it, ran, grew, through. And then there's more verbs which I cannot think on my top of my head. Then you've got adverbs. Now there's only one form of adverb, I'm pretty sure. I mean, there is something called an adverb and an adjective, which is kind of strange. So you've got your adverb, which is what do you say adverb? So like, actually, I think quickly could be used as an adjective, unless I am so incorrect. Because I have always thought quickly could be used as an adjective. Apparently not. So where I've put adjectives, quickly and slowly, I'm actually not correct. Because that's actually an adverb. Actually, fastly isn't a word. Don't say fastly. Okay, so you've got noun, verb. So you've got verbs, you've got modal verbs, action verbs. You've got adverb. Yeah, anyways. Okay, so that's your lexis. Then you've got phonetics. Now, there are multiple different types of phonetics. The one that I mainly focus on in my English language is plosive nouns. No, plosive letters. So basically, these are letters such as B, P, T, K, D. These show a sense of power, because the word "p" is like very powerful in modern society. Phonetics is also known as phonology. It's just another language level. Then you've got semantics, so your semantic fields, which is like a common occurrence of a theme throughout the text. You've got graphology. Now, graphology is shown through the images of the text. Now, don't focus too heavily on graphology, whereas you need to have 3 of these language features to be able to get at least into that high mark band. And graphology is going to be a really strange one to focus on, unless it's like a picture, which you can focus on with the colour. There's not really much you can focus on with graphology. I mean, you can mention it, but I'd say mention other stuff like lexis or semantics or phonetics or there is another one. I think it's morphology. Is it morphology? There are 7. It's always better to know this now. Like I said, guys, I am literally just revising, so I'm not fully correct. I haven't sat my exam paper, but I did get a C in my exam paper, and I got 70 out of 100 on my English language A level. So you can sort of trust me, I guess. I didn't get an A, but you don't need to get an A to know most stuff, I guess. Language levels. Ah, wow, amazing. No, that's not right. That's not right. Where? No. Oh, they called language frameworks. I always got taught language. We've got semantics, lexis, grammar. Grammar and discourse. So you've got grammar, which is basically, I am now typing in capital letters, which is basically punctuation. I'm pretty sure that's all it is, actually. Punctuation. I probably am incorrect. Frameworks include genre, audience, subject, and purpose. Oh, yeah, okay. So basically what we've been doing, so, the MFAPs of something. Because the grammar, it all involves into the MFAPs. And then you have discourse. Now, I never understand what this... pragmatics. We talk about this a lot. Now, pragmatics, when you search it up, if you search up pragmatics, it will come up with something I use in politics. Yeah, pragmatics in linguistics are related to field... No, that's not right. Pragmatics, the context contributes to the meaning in language. Okay, now it's just bringing up the language stuff. In linguistics and related fields, pragmatics is the study of how context contributes to meaning. So yeah, you've got to know... I can't spell. You've got to know what pragmatics are. So you've got to look at the date. So pragmatics is context related to meaning. Sometimes you just need to be a little bit nerdy with these things. So if you know about like flights, for example, you can add in your knowledge there, but you don't always need to know. But it's kind of a potluck question with the fact that you've got to know some pragmatics. Pragmatics is probably a easy one to add into the exam, so is semantics and lexis. But I feel pragmatics, if you don't know much about the text, don't try and go off on a tangent. Also, if you're most knowledgeable in a text, you could go off on a tangent. So try not to do it either. Try and stick to what they want with that MFAPs and that punctuation, and that sort of meanings and reps. You don't want to go off into a tangent and give a whole storyline of roller coasters, should I say. So pragmatics, context related to meaning. So, for example, you've got to look at the time, the date of it being wrote. You've got to look at... Oh, I'm a little bit behind it. You have got to look at who is writing it, so the author. And then there's other things around it, about the publisher as well. Author and publisher are two different things, remember. Because sometimes it could be written by this left-wing political guy and published by the right-wing, or could be said by, let's say, Keir Starmer as our Prime Minister, but could be published by a right-wing newspaper. So we've got lexis, which are like your nouns, adjectives, verbs, just literally naming any words. You've got your phonetics, which is your plosive letters. You've got other ones like fricatives, such as t and f. I'm going to add that in, actually. Then you have semantics, which is like a semantic field, so your common occurrence of different names or different letters, or different themes throughout the whole text. You've got to look more explicitly into that. Grammar, the punctuation, the emphats, modal form, audience, purpose. Pragmatics, and then there is one more, and it's called discourse. Now, I'm pretty sure we don't need to know about discourse, but very much includes GASP, cohesive devices, how the text in general is set out and displayed. Alright. So your discourse could be... Always look... right, okay. Always look for your sentence structures as well in grammar. What is happening? There you go. Always look for sentence structures. How did I forget about this? I'm no English language teacher, but it's fun. Now, sentence structures such as interrogatives. So we have... interrogatives. I can't spell. Interrogatives. Now, interrogatives are your questions. So anything that has like a question to it is an interrogative question. Then you've got your declaratives, which end with a declarative. It ends with a full stop, and this is more of your declaring statements. So it's like the grass is green. That's me declaring that the grass is green, or the door is blue. That's me declaring that the door is blue, and it's not really something you can answer back to. Then you have your exclamatives, which are like ones which you sort of express in a more of an up. It can be taken either both ways: a shouting tone or a more celebrative tone. So they end with your exclamation marks, and then you do have one more: interrogatives, declaratives, exclamatives. It's going to kick me when I know this. Command. Not really much we talk about in English language with this one, but commands are stuff like do that now. So you've got stuff like do. You've got like verbs like do. Have. You have to do this. This will also entitle more of a direct address to the user. To the person being published. Okay, so, and then you've got your discourse. Now, discourse is what I was saying to you earlier about MFAPs. That's about it for Discord. I can't unless this page says anything else about Discord. Framework clues: genre, audience, subject, purpose. Cohesive devices: how the text is general is set out and displayed. Yeah, okay. So MFAPs and how it is displayed. Right, so that is your language levels, okay? And we've also gone over the MFAPs of the thing. So now all we need to do is annotate it. So to be able to annotate it, we need to look at different things. So firstly, what I'm going to focus on is semantics, as it is, or no, I'm not. What I'm going to focus on is the author first. So if I know how to do this, why can I not highlight? Oh, that's just amazing, isn't it? Select. Can I not highlight? I can't highlight. Why can't I highlight? Something is desperately wrong with this. Fill and sign. I just want to highlight. It's because it's a secure document. I'm not allowed to. Okay, anyways, I will just talk you through it, guys, shall I? Because I'm a nice person, I can do that. Okay, so firstly, like I said, we are more talking about our BBC News sort of thing. So, the BBC News, what sort of connotations do we have around the BBC News? Now, firstly, they're not meant to be biased. So, they're not meant to have a political agenda or alignment. So, no political alignment. Even though some people say they are politically aligned to a party sometimes, they are not actually allowed to be politically aligned. I take politics, I know that. Then, what else do we look at it? So we also look at its British Broadcasting Corporations, and it could have more of a... Actually, no, it can't, because it can't be biased. There's not much more we can say about that. So, that's the author done, and that kind of helps us with the overall text and how it's going to be put across as. Now, Ethiopian, so we're looking at the heading here. So, Ethiopia, all women flights, marks 8th of March. So, at the moment, we see that this is... So, the all women, so where it says all women, this is sort of breaking out of the social norms of how people perceive it as. Because where it says all, that collective, I'm sure it's a collective pronoun, all. I'm pretty sure all is a pronoun. I am not a human dictionary. No, I didn't want all the pronouns, I just want all. Not Microsoft's. Used to refer to. Oh, it's not. It's a predeterminer. Okay, so the predeterminer. All shows inclusivity. Towards recognising the towards recognising females in fights. You can also say that it, like I said earlier, it breaks the social norms. Breaks the social norms of being a pilot is a masculine thing to do. So I'm pretty sure that's all I can get from... You can also focus on diversity. So Ethiopia is in Africa. And we can focus on the diversity there. So diversity and inclusivity. But it also shows a sense of pride in their nation, because they have achieved something which is not really recognised much in society. So pride of nation, and achieved an event which is not normally recognised in society. So then we move down and we're like, first things first. So the airline announced that in a tweet with a reference to the Beatles' song "Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds," the Lucys are about to control the skies for the 5th time, flying to Oslo on the coming March 8th. So firstly, we have that kind of irony there, where it's like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Now, as we know, that's a British sort of thing. It's the Beatles who made that song, if you did not know. And they've kind of twisted it and put a little bit more of a ironical approach on it, which makes it more of a fulfilling and uplifting thing to not criticise. So we can then put irony in there. For the fact that they've mentioned Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Is ironic to not make it, so to not make it come across as sort of a it's ironic to make it come across as cherishable and something to celebrate. Then we also have Lucy and the Lucys. So then we also have that breaking the gender norms again, because we've got the Lucys and we also have Control, which shows, which presents or represents the social norms being broken again due to women having not influential power, but they have direct power to what is seen to be having direct power to what is seen to be powerful and above their knowledge. So what have we got? We've got all women is a predeterminer. All shows inclusivity towards recognising women in flights breaks the social norms of being a pilot is a masculine thing to do. Ethiopia, Africa is a diversity and inclusivity, pride of nation, and achieves an event which is not normally recognised in society. Irony, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. It's ironic to not make it come across as cherishable. I cannot spell cherishable. It's not even on here. Cherish. Is that right? No. Charitable. That's not right. Didn't come across as what has just happened. As something to celebrate. So we've got more of that diversity sort of inclusion thing. Veluces and control, which represents the social norms being broken again due to women having direct power to what is seen to be powerful and above their knowledge. Veluces, and so when we look further down, and let's look if we can see any semantics throughout. So we've got this sense of control. We've got control up here. Got celebrates. Control again. We've got this UK thing. So we can kind of link this Lucy with the sky with diamonds sort of thing to a UK sort of approach. So where it says down here, UK's largest all women flight, and Lucy in the Lucy's are about to control the skies. This shows more of a convergence, but not convergence, but yeah, convergence of one country of Ethiopia with the UK, showing their sort of so UK's largest all-women flight and the Lucy's are about to control the skies. This shows a convergence of Ethiopia with the UK, showing their powerful equality that they can bring to the skies. Also, this holds a semantic field of British culture, where UK is referenced from the indirect indirect line from the Beatles song See in the Sky with Diamonds. So you've got UK's largest all-women's flight, and the Lucies are about to control the skies. This shows a convergence of Ethiopia with the UK, showing their powerful equality that they can bring to the skies. Also, this holds a semantic field of British culture, where UK is referenced, I wouldn't say British culture, but British influence. Where UK is referenced from the indirect line from the Beatles song, of the Beatles song. The Beatles song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, to having the largest all-women flight. Okay, so we've got semantics, we've got Lexis. Well, yeah, I've referenced Lexis once, but we can add more in. We could talk about phonetics, maybe? So, and another series of all-female flight to mark the day. To mark International Women's Day last year, Air India said it became the first. No, it had become the first airline to fly around the world with an all-female crew. The entire flight was operated by the women of the 8 different departments. What we've got on here, we've got a reference on here. So Ethiopian Airlines is keen to showcase women's longer-term contribution to the industry and the progress they've made in conquering male-dominated professions like those of pilot and aircraft technicians. The head of airlines medical and health services say that 35% of the company's 16,000 strong workforce is female. These days is an increasing number of women are completing their pilot training successfully. I'm not really sure because maybe something in this middle paragraph. Ethiopian Airlines Chief Executive Officer Tiwold Gabriel Mariam explained that this initiative celebrates women on a continent where gender equality still persists. No, gender inequality. We are immensely honoured that we have the women trailblazers in every aspect of our aviation field, he said. Women are an integral part of our success story from the start, and with this dedicated flight with honour and celebrate. So we've got another semantic field of celebrate, but I wouldn't really want to put another semantic field in it. I'm trying to think what sort of other things can we add in. Can we add in grammar? Not really, as it's said as much. Can we add in... We've got Lexis. We sort of pragmatics as well. I think we've got all 3 in. So I've got the BBC News, how it's got no political alignment. We've got all women, which is predeterminative, shows inclusivity, which is more of your pragmatic approach, I'm pretty sure. You've got Ethiopia, so you've got pragmatic approach again. Irony, so I don't know what that is, but it's more of it's a language feature. UK's largest all-women's flight, we've got like that semantic field there, but also that very much connotation, that convergence between countries and that pride they both celebrate with. The Lucy's and control, which represents social norms being broken again due to women having direct power. We can also mention how Lucy is also a generic name and might have been used to also show that any woman can fly a plane. This is seen through the strength and power the whole text. So it's seen through the strength and power the whole text portrays. This stream through power the whole text portrays. So guys, I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm not going any further than that. My head is pounding. Hope you guys enjoyed this live. To be fair, it's not my normal live. If you guys are confused, so am I. No, I'm not really that confused, but I'm okay. Anyways, yes, please remember to subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Remember to always add your MFAPs, lexis, nouns, verbs, adverbs, action verbs. You've got phonetics, which are p. Then you've got fricatives, f and t. Semantic fields, graphology, grammar, and discourse. Right, I am going to go now. I was reading the chat. My chat hasn't come up. I haven't. Live chat. Oh, now there's people there. I actually didn't know that. See, I've got my thing here, and it mustn't have updated because I did leave on my iPad, so it must have come back up and it didn't do it properly. I'm very sorry about that. That's really concerning. What sort of melon am I? Okay. Anyways, I'm going. Bye bye.